Welcome to today's weekly live show. And today we are going to be talking about the top 4 challenges that Harvard Business Publication has listed for 2024 for organizations, big and small. And so I'm going to go through those today. I want to welcome you back from the Thanksgiving holiday for those of you in the US. And you guys, we are full on, what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? We are in full swing. That's the word I'm looking for, of the holiday season between now and the end of the year. There's a lot to get accomplished still, both personally and in your business realm. So let's dive in on today's topic. I am Angela W. Stillwell, and I am the CEO and founder of Untapped Strengths. And I work with teams to transform them into powerhouses. And I work with individuals just like you to transform you into top 1% leaders. All right, so let's get into these top 4 challenges that the Harvard Business Publication has said are the top 4 for leaders in 2024. Things to be thinking about, regardless of the size of your business, regardless of what role you play. These are things that if you are a leader in your field, then this is something that these are 4 topics that you're going to want to pay attention to for 2024. All right, so the first one is ongoing disruption beyond the C-suite. All right. So the C-suite, the top echelon in higher organizations, and, just the owner as a small and mid-sized business. All right. So what am I talking about? We're talking about, over the last several years, there's been issues with supply chain. There's been issues with hiring talent. And now we're looking at sustained inflation. We're looking at the risk of economic downturn. Many have said for a while that we're already in the middle of a major economic downturn. And lots of people are showing that in their pocketbook. I was actually reading a study the other day that says a higher percentage of people are tapping into their savings than ever before, post-pandemic. So yes, turn down a risk of economic turndown, changing customer expectations. I know me, I know that I have a difference in my expectations when dealing with someone. And what they're saying is this is an ongoing issue across the board. All right. So embracing change and transformation, risk-taking, resiliency, and adaptability. These are all things that are ongoing disruption beyond the top management. Okay. All right. Then the second one, the number 2 top challenge in requiring leadership development, is in building tech-savvy leaders. All right, we know that there's a lot going on with AI. There was that whole thing that was going on with Sam Altman and everything with OpenAI and ChatGPT and Microsoft and all of the things. It was just like watching a soap opera, right? Every day it was something different. Actually, within the day, it was major changes. And so we're going to continue to see big issues in requiring leaders to be more tech savvy. All right. And then the third is humanizing leadership in the digital age. Yes, we are very much in a digital age. However, and you guys, I apologize. One of my Great Danes is trying to get between me and my camera. He's standing right here. So if you see me moving back and forth, it's because he's right here. He's not feeling well. Actually, this afternoon, we're headed to the vet. He's got something going on that has him a little clingy. Anyway, so let's get back to number 3, humanizing leadership in the digital age. Yes, we're in the digital age, and yes, it's still about leading people. Here's the thing. In this environment, we're noticing a huge change. And this is a generational thing, right? Every generation operates differently, requires different things. Younger generations are much more text much more into texting and that sort of thing versus, just when I do training at organizations and I'm dealing with multiple generations, this is one of the things that we go through. How do you communicate with different generations? How do you communicate with people? I'm trying to focus. This is real life. This is what happens when there's real life going on, right? And this is one of the things, humanizing leadership. This is real. These are things that we're in fact, number 4 is leading a hybrid workforce, on-site, fully remote, contractors, and then collaborating is an ongoing puzzle in the leading a hybrid workforce. So when you're leading a hybrid workforce, you have things like this happening because you have some of your workforce is remote and they're dealing with family issues that they don't deal with necessarily when they're in the office, not as directly as they do. They're still dealing with family things. They're still dealing with pets. They're still dealing with life. They're just not doing it on camera like I am right now, right? So that was number 4. Let's back up to number 3, the humanizing leadership in the digital age. You guys hear me talk frequently about the power skills that are huge differentiators in what really makes true leaders. And this has never been more true than it is right now. Okay. In fact, in the report that was in the Harvard Business publication, 75+% of those interviewed said that this humanizing leadership aspect was a big differential and a big concern and a big need in their organizations. But only 48% of organizations are actually proactively embracing and encouraging this humanization aspect. All right. Now, what does that humanization aspect entail? There's all sorts of things, right? It's managing conflict. It's having difficult conversations. It's embracing resiliency and adaptability. It's emotional intelligence. It's having, I think I already said that, having difficult conversations, empathy, motivation, driving inspiration and motivation, right? It's all of these things. So when we're looking at the top concerns for 2024 for leadership, we get to really lean into this. So if you are not doing trainings and workshops and I'm not talking about just one-offs. I'm not talking about the quote unquote lunch and learn. All right. There's much more to this than a lunch and learn. You need to be doing things like having assessments done. Do Kolbe so that you're getting the cognitive aspect, right? That is the way of doing, the natural way of doing. And there's 4 different components in that. And then there's the personality, the way of being, right? IQ is IQ. It is what it is. That's the intelligence aspect. But the emotional way, the way that people handle things emotionally, that's your DISC, that's your Myers-Briggs, your Strengths Finder, is it Clifton Strengths Finder, Gallup Strengths? I can't remember what they call it now. They've changed it. It's it was the Clifton Strengths Finders. Now I believe it's Gallup Strengths Finders. I can't remember. Anyway, so that's one of the ones that looks at from an emotional standpoint. How do people manage themselves emotionally, right? So you guys, today is a challenge. Today is one of those days. I've got one right back here and I've got one right here. My 2 Great Danes have decided that today is the day to be part of the live. And this is exactly what I was talking about when we're talking about leading a hybrid workforce, right? So anyway, back to, things that you get to do. It's not just about doing the quote unquote lunch and learns. It is about truly having a development program in place, a leadership development program in place, picking out key employees that you know will benefit from this, whether they are already in some managerial role or they are up and comers. And here's the other thing: new hires these days are actually looking to see what type of investment a company is putting in is making on their new hires, on their employees. What type of investment are they putting into their employees to retain them, to motivate them, to inspire them, to educate them, to prepare them for whatever is coming next? And these type excuse me, these type programs that I'm talking about, where you literally have an entire development program put together. And that's one of the things that I've done with my clients. I've been fortunate to work with some of the largest companies and organizations in the world in providing these programs and aspects of these programs, and helping also facilitate the development of these programs. Look, it's not about a one and done. This is an ongoing process. It's an ongoing development and learning and training process for your employees, for your entire teams. Again, as we continue to shift over time with the hybrid workforce, with the economy changing, with the concerns that are happening globally. This is not just a thing in the US, this is a global issue. So when you have people who are scattered across the entire world, when you have people who are scattered across the country, when you have people who are even scattered across the county, it still makes it a challenge to make sure that things are being covered in a way that meets everyone's needs, right? So, you guys, I am so sorry. If you hear the tapping, it's because I'm on a hardwood floor and his nails need to be done. And yeah, reality. I have this one back here. Again, she is doing her little thing, and he's standing right here leaning against me, not feeling well. So anyway, I would love to hear from you. What is it that is most interesting or most concerning to you about all of this? Again, the four are ongoing disruption beyond the C-suite. So, what's happening in the economy, what's happening from other shifts. They're talking about, is there going to be another shutdown? Is there going to be another? Look, these are things that run through all of our minds regularly, and they are beyond any one individual's control or even a group of individuals' control. So what are you doing to make sure that you and your people are embracing resiliency, ambiguity, adaptability, etc.? 2, tech savvy, right? The AI issue, cybersecurity. These are things that are real life today issues that are ongoing. Then there is the humanizing of leadership. And then the fourth one is leading a hybrid workforce. So, all right, I'd love to hear from you. What is it that is most intriguing to you? What do you believe is the biggest, is the top one of these? I don't know that this was the order they ranked them in. They're not in any particular order as far as highest priority. They're all important, right? Every single one of them are important. So when you are looking at these, which of these is most important to you? Which do you believe are most important for your business? And then I'd like to also encourage you to think about, as we look at the top concerns going forward, what is it within ourselves that keeps us blocked, that keeps us from making the necessary changes? right? I have a free report. It's a workbook style that you can get by going to the link on the screen, linktree/AW Stillwell, linktr.ee/AW Stillwell. Right at the top of the link tree, there is a link to this report. And in this report, I dive into the top things that are keeping you stuck. What are your blind spots that are keeping you stuck personally? Look, we get to lead ourselves first before we lead anybody else. So my encouragement is get that report, get that workbook, start working on that. Let me know what you think. And if you can't find it, send me a DM on whichever platform you're watching this, whether it's on YouTube, LinkedIn, or Facebook. I'll be sure to get you the link so that you can get your copy of the report and see, what are your own blind spots, right? We don't do a great job in calling ourselves out with blind spots. We really need someone else. Look, I do this work day in and day out, helping my clients uncover their blind spots, whether it's personally or within their business. Right. And so, and yet I need someone to help me uncover my blind spots. That means you get to have someone help you uncover yours. So I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to hearing your feedback and your thoughts on the top 4 concerns for leadership going into 2024. And make sure you grab your copy of the workbook and report. And I will see you all next Wednesday. Thanks so much for being patient with all of the disruption with my creatures working in a hybrid environment, working in a remote environment today. And I wish you a fantastic Wednesday and happy holidays. See you next Wednesday. Bye.